Mr. Chairman, members, my name is Clifford Sisko, S-I-S-K-O. I'm from Miles City, Montana. I come here today in support of Convention of States Resolution SJ2 being presented here today. As a veteran, I believe as strongly now in the ideals set forth in our founding documents as I did when I joined the Navy. As a young man, all of 17 years of age, I stood alongside a number of other young men and women who swore an oath to support and defend the Constitution of the United States of America against all enemies, foreign and domestic. I have not been released from that oath. Like so many others who came before us, we did what that oath required of us. Every day we put on that uniform. And every time we went into battle, we upheld that oath. The words honor, commitment, and courage, those words have meaning and substance. They aren't just words thrown out like so much verbal gibberish. We acknowledge and live by those words. Every person who puts on and proudly wears the uniform of this great country does their level best to comply or exemplify those words at all times. I feel I can't emphasize strongly enough those words: honor, courage, and commitment should mean as much and have the same impact on our elected officials, both state and federal, in upholding the oath they have taken as it did to all who have worn the uniform of this country. I took another similar oath when I became a life member of the Veterans of Foreign Wars of the United States. You will notice both of those oaths say, support the Constitution, not the government. Right now, I feel a domestic threat we face in this country is our federal government. And the only way to overcome that is to give the power back to the states through implementation of Article 5 Convention of States. The framers gave us a remedy. If that administration or the Congress should abuse its power, that remedy is the second option of Article 5 of the Constitution of the United States. I believe we are beset by a federal legislature who has all but abdicated its power to the executive. This is easily seen in our bloated bureaucracies and expansive federal departments whose tentacles encroach on nearly every aspect of our lives. We are beset by its power through a federal executive who has all but abdicated its power to the judiciary, where policies known to be unconstitutional are put into motion in violation of the very oaths they swore to uphold, all with an eye to the judiciary for final determination. We are besieged, by a judiciary that consists of unelected and unaccountable judges who all too often exceed the authority given them under Article 3, with the power to rewrite law or executive policy with a simple decision rooted less in constitutional principles and more in personal preferences, which effectively create an oligarchy. James Madison wrote in Federalist 47 that the accumulation of all powers, legislative, executive, and judiciary, in the same hands, whether the one, the few, or the many, and whether hereditary, self-appointed, or elective, may justly be pronounced, is the very definition of tyranny. I didn't serve our country to live under that yoke. Governments are instituted amongst men for the sole purpose of preserving the liberties of the governed. If Congress becomes a problem, who are we going to be able to go to for redress of grievances? The five framers gave us this tool to use to maintain the precepts and rules enshrined in that beautiful document. If you believe in the Constitution, you must believe in all of it. It is for this reason that I am willing to stand shoulder to shoulder with all of you as you fight to use the Constitution to save the Constitution, to bring the federal Leviathan to heal and to return the power back to the states and to we the people. This ship we all call the United States is listing at 45 degrees. And any further, she founders. Let's do what we need to do to right this ship before we sink. One of the issues commonly used is the fear factor of having an Article 5 convention. If you have ever been in combat, you're very familiar with the fear factor, but you're also very familiar with the fierce pride and sense of honor you've felt standing together with your fellow members during a firefight. We must never let fear prevent us from doing what is right or needed. I don't want to even imagine where we would be today if our men and women in uniform would have given up during World War I, World War II, Korea, or Iraq. If those who gave the full measure of service to country could give voice today, they would ask, is our sacrifice all for nothing? Thank you.
I'm here live in Philadelphia at the Tomb of the Unknown Soldier. When you hear the phrase lives, fortunes, and sacred honor, these are the folks we should think of, those who anonymously gave their lives. Well, today you have a chance to volunteer. You need to volunteer for conventionofstates.com, the movement that's going to save the country. These folks are willing to step up and give everything. We need you to give just a little bit. Go to conventionofstates.com and volunteer today.